Come on, somebody say, I love Jesus. Who is like you, Lord, in all the earth? Yeah. Matchless love and beauty, endless worth. Nothing in this world can satisfy. Oh, Jesus, you're mine. You're the cup that runs so and wide. Who is like you, Lord, in all the earth? Oh, matchless love and beauty, endless world. Nothing in this world will satisfy. And beautiful, matchless love and beauty, endless world. Nothing in this world can satisfy. Nothing in this world will satisfy. Jesus, you're the cup of Jesus, you're the cup that will run dry. Oh, your presence, your presence.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, from anywhere you're watching us from, and trust you're doing well. So welcome to today's special edition of the Digging Deep, where we'll be taking a deep dive into the questions that emanated from the program on Sunday. And I still have with me our amazing power couple. To my right is Mrs. Sorunke Godswill, and to my peaceful left, I have Mr. Olayiwola Sorunke. So without wasting much time, I would like to take a deep dive into the questions. Bearing in mind that we said that today is an avenue to address those questions that we had on Sunday. And we said we're going to be talking more about platforms whereby individuals, whether you're a corporate professional or you're a business owner, we're talking about platforms by which you can enroll yourself for certifications that can propel your career. So, and on these, Mrs. Sorunke is here to shed more light about this subject matter.
Okay, thank you so much for having me here. So I would say that the platforms that you can learn the skills, that's what you asked, right?
Yes, please.
So there are free platforms, and there are also platforms you can learn paid skills. So you can learn free courses on platforms like Alison and Udemy. They also offer paid courses. So if one of the reasons you have for not moving to a remote skill is because you have to pay huge amounts of money, you have no excuse, because you can explore paid courses, free courses on those platforms. Even on places like Coursera, there are opportunities for you to get scholarships where you would even have your courses free. So, and there are other platforms like Alt School and ALX that I can explore. Just go online and do some research. Be able to see what suits you and the time frame that can also work for you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that beautiful response. I am very sure you have something to add.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you once again for having me. I think that's a good question. People usually want to ask that, where can I start, or what can I start with? So, like the other speaker said, there are actually some recognized tutoring or educational platforms like Coursera, Udemy, and all those kind of platforms where you can learn and you can be certified in that particular field or in that particular area you are trying to study. But however, the first contact I usually advise is that try to go to YouTube. I believe that YouTube is one of the blessings to mankind from God, that you can learn virtually anything on YouTube. So before you probably go ahead to pay for that course to have a certificate, I would advise that you go on YouTube and watch free videos on that particular subject matter. So for example, you want to learn virtual assistance, you want to learn graphic design, product design, software development, I would advise that you go to YouTube. At least, YouTube will at least give you free videos, at least, best minimum, free videos for beginner level. So how you can go from knowledge zero or zero level knowledge to at least a level where you say, okay, I think this is the right thing for me. Let me go into it. So over the years, we've seen people make mistakes of not really knowing the fundamentals about a particular thing that they want to learn. So they just go and pay huge sums of money. And at the end of the day, they see it's not the right fit for them. So you can start from YouTube. Almost everybody has a YouTube account. Search for, just type in there whatever you want to learn in any language or anyhow. Just phrase it anyhow. Type in what you want to learn, and you can watch some of those free content. At least you gather enough knowledge before you now say, okay, let me now pay for this particular course and get my certificate. Yeah, so I think YouTube is also a platform that can be explored. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for that wonderful addition. So you have boldly, rightly said that there are platforms whereby people can register for these certifications, whether paid or free. So, but why certifications? Looking, you both are in the remote space. Do you think that if anybody wants to transition into the remote space or somebody that is there, do you really need certifications? Are they really important like people portray them to be? What do you think about that?
Okay, yes, that's also a good question, because I remember, I think on Sunday, we were in the events where somebody has a question about educational background,
Exactly.
how it's important and whatnot. And I remember I said that well, your degree, like the conventional degree, is not necessary for you to start. Of course, I'm not saying you should not be educated. Of course, be educated as much as you can. But now we see, because of this work culture, we see teenagers actually making, a teenager is not even done with his first degree. And they are making groundbreaking records in the tech space or whatever space that you call it. So educational background might not be necessarily important, but however, you should be certified in a particular skill. Why? Because of impressions and because of, for example, the way I dress is what will determine the way people address me. So your dressing, your physical dressing in quotes, is what certification is. So certification is that thing that you put on your bio, you put on your LinkedIn, you put on your CV or whatever, that makes people see that, oh, you're actually trained and certified by this platform in this particular area. However, they're still going to do tests for you. They're still going to do like a job test or whatever, an interview, whatever, for them to know that, oh, you really know this thing. So, but certifications are important because of impressions. Yeah, you want to receive the audience. You want them to be able to call you back for the interview. So certifications are really, really important for that. So apart from the fact that YouTube impressions, you also learn more. Of course, you are going to learn more when you are certified in something. Yeah. So if you are watching now, you have some courses you have paid for and you have not finished them, this is a good reminder for you to go back to them because they're actually important on your journey. Yes. When you start the job, nobody might ask you to bring your certificate, but for you to even be invited to, want to hear what you want to say, you actually need those certificates on your CV or your bio or whatever. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. I think you want to comment on that too.
Yes, I would also like to add that having a certification can improve your confidence level. It can help you feel more confident in that skill. So you might have it as a talent or something that you know naturally. But when you get a certification, it helps you to be able to present yourself more. You have more confidence. And it also makes you look like a person that has authority in that particular thing. So that's what certifications also do. So while they are not the main thing, because it's possible for a person to have a certification and not really know their stuff, certificates are also important. They give you confidence and authority.
Oh, thank you very much for that. They give you confidence, they give you authority, and authority can also say that certification gives you a sort of competitive edge. It's an advantage because usually if you're an employer of labor, you're looking for someone to occupy a particular role and both candidates seem good. When you want to prune to the person you're going to choose, you look at some things. So certification might also be a point of reference. So usually, no matter how good you are, it's always better to make sure you get certified in your respective field because that is a sign of authority for you as a person. And also on the global job market, you're up there because you also get a global recognition. Thank you very much for those succinct submissions. So I think it's high time we now move into the questions that we've got. So question number one today. As a student, which remote job can you do comfortably? So this person is asking that he's a student. What kind of remote job can he or she engage in comfortably? Keyword.
Okay, I would say that as a student, because your main focus is your studies, you were sent to school to study and to pass your exams and come out with your certificate. So that does not mean that you cannot make money from a skill that you have. So there are some particular skills that you can leverage even while being a student. One of them is virtual assistance. And these skills are also dependent on your personal bents, like things that you're good at naturally. So if you are good with organization, you're good with scheduling, you know how to organize things, virtual assistance is a very good one that you can explore. Another one is social media management. If you love social media, instead of spending hours scrolling on TikTok, you can do that for brands, for organizations, and even make money for yourself while you're promoting their company or their brand. Another one that you can also explore is graphics design. If you are a creative and you know how to put colors together, you know what looks good. When you see a flyer, you know what is off, you know what can make it better, then graphic design is something that you can explore as well. So those are some of the skills that you can actually hone as a student that would not take too much of your time, and they are not too tasking, and they will not take your focus away from what you're in school to do.
Thank you very much for that. Would you like to comment on that too? Okay, very good, thank you. I think I like the point where you talked about understanding the business of what you do. Yeah, what you do is important, but understanding the business of what you do is super important than what you really do. You said, instead of whiling away time on the street of the social platform, media pages, you can actually get behind the job as a social media person. And one, you are enjoying what you're doing, staying on social media, and secondly, you are getting rewarded for being on the social media space, so which is a very great one. Thank you very much for that. So question number two, I would like to ask, what is your advice for someone who wants to do a remote work but is not a social media type and he or she have learned a lot of skills online and do not know how to go about it?
Okay, that's a very good question. And I like that these questions, I think we're having some form of personalities.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're having students ask questions. We're having, I'm not really this type, what should I do? So, first off, remote work is not equivalent to social media. So I know that a lot of young people still have these misconceptions. Even the older generation, they feel, oh, when you say you're working remotely, you're actually just scrolling on social media. So, no, like the other speaker said, we have virtual assistants, we have design, graphic design, we have all these other things you can do, software development. These things have nothing to do with social media. So social media comes to play when we talk about specific remote parts like content creation, content management, social media management itself. We have other things like video editing. Yes, you have to do a lot of social media. Why? Because you have to go to social media, see the size that the social media wants to accept. You take it back to your editor and you edit the video and all like that. So remote work is not verbatim social media, or it's not 100% social media. So when you say that you are not a social media type, I would advise that first off, look for other remote works or remote fields that are not social media intensive or social media related, like I mentioned, virtual assistants and all those kind of things. Yes, so, and if you have learned a skill, yeah, I think you mentioned that you have learned a lot of skills online. Yes, so you can channel those skills, or you can walk in the light of doing other remote works or remote gigs that are not social media related. Yes, so focus your attention on those ones. Yes, and if you see opportunities that require you to probably pick one or two things online or social media or check a post on a particular page, then you might have to pay that sacrifice to go and check all those things out. Yeah, but it's not automatic that remote is social media. There are a lot of other fields you can do, other things you can do remotely that have nothing to do with social media. So put your focus and attention on those ones, and I'm sure you will see something that actually fits you, because usually we'll say that there's nothing somebody wants to do on earth today that somebody else has not done.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there are people that are in your shoes, people that don't like social media, people that they don't like. In fact, on YouTube, we now have faceless YouTube accounts.
Yes.
People that are shy, don't see my face is ugly, or for whatever reason, they just do faceless content. Yeah. The hours of, you see them having millions of views and they're not showing their face. Exactly. So if you're a shy person, for example, somebody has, just do a little bit of research. Like somebody said, go online, do some research. There's somebody that fits into your personality but has made it in those particular fields. Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you very much. I like the part where you talked about the faceless YouTube channel, because yes, you know, in this era that we live in now, you do not have any excuse for not making it. You just have to make it, because you have options everywhere. If you're shy, if you term yourself to be shy, there are a lot of things you can do and earn profitably from it. You necessarily don't have to show your face, because everybody is showing their face on YouTube doesn't mean that you have to show your face. But can you get rewarded for not showing your face on YouTube? Of course, absolutely yes. So, all right, thank you very much for those practical insight. So let's go to the next question. This person said, oh, would you like to add to that too? Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much. So this question is a bit longer. I think we have to break it in bits. So in terms of health-wise, I realized that I hardly remember anything I read in a moment, and even forget very quickly. What could be the cause of this, and what can be the remedy? That's part one.
Okay, so this is related to being a student, like reading for a test or an exam. I would say that one cause of reading and forgetting in a moment very quickly is probably because you thought you read, but it did not actually sink into your memory. So after reading, one of the ways to do it is to ask yourself a question, test yourself. Don't just read and then close your book and move. You have to be sure that what you read has been assimilated into your memory. So, like, close your book and try to go over what you just read. So one reason for that happening can be that you did not actually read. You just skimmed through and nothing was committed to memory. Another reason can be because you are distracted. So if you are reading, we're in an age now where people are with their phones almost all the time. So if you are reading and your phone is constantly beeping with notifications and you keep checking them, to read and assimilate, you have to be in that space for a period of time for you to sink into that reading mode. So you have to shun all distractions and make sure. So I'm actually saying the causes and the remedies at the same time. So another reason is distractions, like I was saying. So you have to read and ensure that you are in this space and you're not moving from your phone back to your book, moving from your phone back to your book. Another one can be stress or anxiety. If you are very stressed, there are a lot of things going on, probably family, there are financial issues, or you've not eaten. Of course, the brain needs food, the brain needs water. If you've not eaten, you've not been sleeping well, you have a lot of things on your mind, it's going to be very hard for you to read and assimilate. So you actually think you've read, probably you have a test tomorrow, and you know you have to read. So you pick your book and you read the material that you have to do a test on. You think you've read it, but because there are so many things on your mind, they did not even get committed to memory in the first place. So it's not like you forgot it. It's not in your mind, first of all. So you have to eliminate distractions, make sure that you're sleeping well, try to eat well as much as possible, and drink water, because the brain needs nutrients for it to work for you. You cannot expect an outcome from your brain if you're not giving it what it needs, like food and water. So try to eat well as much as possible. Reduce junks. I'm not saying that you should not eat any sugar at all. Just try to reduce the amount of processed sugar or processed food that you eat. It helps the brain. So those are the things I would say. And sleep. On Sunday, I mentioned that people underrate sleep. Sleep is a very good healer. If you are experiencing maybe brain fog, or you think your memory is not serving you at that moment, you can just put things aside for a bit and sleep for 1 or 2 hours. You wake up refreshed and you'll be able to look forward. But then I would now say, if you try all of these things and they persist, I would advise you to see a doctor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Quick one. You talked about reducing junk, eating healthy. But some people have the opinion that when you're talking about eating healthy, that it can break a leg. Like, it costs a lot to eat healthy. But I know you are in the health space, so you can give us some practical examples, that things that we can easily relate with that wouldn't break our pulse when it comes to eating healthy. Can you just give us a scenario, and I think that will drive the point home. Thank you.
Okay, so I would say one of the first and easiest ways to eat healthy starts by drinking clean water. So almost everybody in the country, of course, not everybody has access to good water. Almost everybody has access to potable water. Most people, majority of people have access to clean water. So when you have clean water and you drink water regularly, you have a good start. Secondly, when you want to eat, try to ensure that you have fruits or vegetables on your plate, and also take advantage of fruits in season. So let's say in a particular season, you see a lot of watermelons, you see mangoes, you see cucumbers. In that moment, because they are in season, they're actually a bit cheaper than usual. So try to buy them frequently and add them to your plate. They are in season for a reason, so try to eat them at that moment. Another thing is, instead of opting for sugary drinks like soda, you might not be able to cut it out completely, but instead of taking them, just take water. So I said opt for drink clean water regularly.
Water.
Yes, when you see fruits in season, they're actually cheaper in that moment, so try to buy them intentionally and eat them. The third thing I said is make sure that there are fruits and vegetables on your plate.
Exactly. Thank you
Yes.
very much for that. So conclusively on that, second question is, what is the best way to transact business nowadays? Is it through cultural or modern style, when considering the advantages and the disadvantages of both of them?
Okay. So the person is asking how to
Transact business.
transact
in this
business.
Era.
Okay.
Is
So
it through the Asian style?
business transactions.
Yes, please.
So I would assume that money is involved. So you're probably asking about, okay, how best can I get my money from a business deal and stuff like that. Yeah, so thanks to this modern work we are talking about, we now have a lot of groundbreaking ideas in technology. For example, fintech. That's financial technology. So in fintech now, you can send money and receive money in seconds. Securely, actually, securely. So in fact, one of the biggest companies in Africa, yes, is a fintech company from Nigeria. Yes, and in fact, I was having a discussion the other day with somebody, I think somebody in the UK, were talking, and he was surprised how fast our transactions go through in this part of the world. Like, you can't send some particular amount of money without you waiting for a few days, in some other countries and all like that. So yeah, in this climate, this part of technology here, when it comes to transactions, we have actually solidified transactions. In fact, everybody today wants to go into a fintech product and say, I want to, you collect money from business and all like that. We have some popular brands, but I will not mention them because this is not a paid event for them. Anyway, right. But we actually have a lot of online ways, a lot of online, wallet system, different from the traditional banking. Because traditional banking will take you through some stress.
Exactly.
But now that we have everything, in fact, talking about customer support is also a skill you can learn.
Exactly.
Customer support, all these things, they've all come together to make the transaction life easy for you. So I will personally recommend that business transactions can be done online with secure platforms. You might not collect your money from a business by transfer, manual transfer, or those kind of things. You can set up a mini website or a mini payment link. Just on the payment link, you put your price, you put everything, how much you're expecting. If that money is not up to that amount, they will not collect it from the person. So there's nothing like, let me pay you 20 naira. I will give you whatever. You have set your rules, send the person the payment link. The person can pay through transfer, whatever.
No bargaining.
But the money comes directly into your account, full pay, or the pay you have set, and it's secure actually, because in fact, biggest brands in Africa today are leveraging on business transactions. They are integrating those people into their system because they feel like, okay, these people are secure. I can receive my money from my customers through this means. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was great and straight to the point. So now let's talk about, we've talked about working from the office, we talked about working from the comfort of your house. Let's talk about individuals with hybrid roles, which means you work some days at home and you also work some days at the office, thus making it a hybrid role, right? So how can one successfully cope? How can you manage the demands of an hybrid role? Because the demands of an on-site job is different from an hybrid role, and the demands of an hybrid role is equally different from that of a strictly remote role. So how, the hybrid is the remote and the office. So you are doing both. How do you cope? How can you manage that kind of role?
Okay, I would say that when you work remotely and you work on site, you would have to have good organizational skills. You have to have good time management skills, because let's say you go to the office today, you work from the office today, you're in the office, so you have your colleagues around, you're in the workspace, so it is very easy for you to get into the mood to work. But then when you're at home the next day, if you've been at work the previous day, the next day you most likely want to sleep in. You want to wake up later than you did the previous day. So I would say that's not bad. It's one of the perks of working from home. However, don't just sleep till the sleep finishes and wake up whenever you wake up. Try to employ tools like an alarm to help you wake up. I mentioned something related to this on Sunday, to help you wake up and then focus on work. Another way you can manage working remotely and on-site is that on days where you work remotely, don't just be off the radar. Don't, the day you work from home, don't make your manager or your supervisor start looking for you and asking that, where are you? When mails are sent, reply to the mails. Even if you're not in the office, it helps people know that, oh, this person is actually working. The person is not just working from home and just sleeping or doing nothing, or the person has gone out, the person is not working. So when you work from home, when there are mails, replying mails, like have some form of connectivity, communicate. When there are messages, when people are having conversations, join meetings, make contributions intentionally, so that it's also register that you actually work well without supervision. It will help for later when you might need to maybe ask for permission for something, or you want to transition to full remote. It will help them to know that you are credible, and that on days where you work from home, you're not just lounging or playing. So that's what I would say. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that. You want to add to it?
Yes. I will come in from the angle of schedule. Yeah, I have a schedule. I think you mentioned that. Yeah, you need to have a schedule. You need to know when to do what and what to do what. I think a lot of people, even myself, might fall into that trap of thinking that, oh, I'm at home. There is time to do everything. Before you go out and come in or do whatever, it's already 3 p.m. And 3 p.m., 4 p.m., the day is over. You now be trying to now rush and can bleed into other times that you want to say. So I think a schedule is very important. Have some form of discipline to that schedule, and also learn to communicate. And you know that there's actually a discourse of employers not trusting employees enough.
Yes, please.
To go to work from home. Yeah. In fact, I was having a conversation with somebody on Sunday. The person said that before they were doing 3 days or 2 days, something happened. Somebody did not deliver. They said, everybody, come back to the office, or come and be doing 4 days. Yeah. So trust issues, really. You have to put yourself in the shoes of your employer and make sure that your employer has no reason to mistrust you. And communication is the way you do it. So apart from the fact that we have said that this modern work culture is result-based, you also have to communicate. Yeah, because if they're asking you questions and all like that, is the day they say you should deliver, you now say that, I'm sorry, I had connectivity issues. It's not, it doesn't speak well.
It doesn't.
It doesn't speak well. They will just tell you, just bring your laptop tomorrow, come back to the office. And
because at the office, there's no
at the office, there's light, there's internet. So come back. Yeah, so find a way to communicate and be resilient also. Try and fix your issues. No, of course, issues are with everything. Somebody said on Sunday that everything has a good side and bad side. There are issues, technical infrastructure, these things. But you have to learn how to communicate and learn how to resolve or any issue that you might face. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. It has been an amazing session here because, when you have value, the time is never enough. We are always running against time. So, Mr. Sorunke, thank you so very much for coming. It's really been a pleasure having you here, dishing out value, and we genuinely appreciate this from you guys. Thank you so very much. And I would also like to close on this simple note by saying that, we definitely move from cubicles to cloud. One thing is super clear, that work has changed. This has been the bane of all our discussion. So we've talked about the fact that work is now more flexible, more digital, and more global. So in order for us to succeed in this era, we need to do more than just Wi-Fi. We need to be more disciplined, more resilient, to be more adaptable, and have a mindset that embrace change. Because you can't say you want to maximize the blessedness of this era when you are not an adaptable kind of person. So the future of work is not just remote. It is basically smart, human-centered, and constantly evolving. So there is a path that we need to keep on learning by the day. Thank you so very much, everybody, for staying tuned. God bless you.
Who is love?